Welcome to the show today. It's your boy Jimbo. This is Don Yonder Sports, and my co-host Mike is back from his birthday weekend. What's going on, Mike? What's up, baby? Welcome to the show today, baby.
Hey, what's going on, big dog, bro? We got a lot to cover today, bro. So, I'm ready to lock in. You know me, man. I'll be ready to just go in, but I know we gotta catch up and you know what I mean, just kind of shoot the breeze a little bit, man. But boy, this draft week, my boy. So
This is draft week, man, and if you're a Dirty Bird fan out there and you ain't excited about draft week, man, you probably need to check your pulse, baby, because you ain't living in the same time that me and Mike.W living in right now. Because right now we are super excited. We ready to get started. We ready to see what the Atlanta Falcons gonna do in a couple of days, man. And quite honest, I'm a little nervous, but I'm super excited at the same time because this is going to be a major move for us because I know we going all the way in this year, man. So let's get right to it, to the mock draft, Mike. You sitting your mock draft. This is our final mock draft before the actual draft. So this is the one we gonna stick with, and we're gonna ride it through the draft, and we're gonna see how close we come to what we think the Falcons might do. So Mike, if you want to go, let's hit them with the mock draft. Let me get it because you sent it to me. I forgot. My bad. Wasn't ready. It's all good though. It's all good. We're gonna keep the show rolling.
that's all good, man. We can
It's all
upload
good.
it. Yeah, we can upload it. They can check the draft out for themselves. But
Yeah, I'm
um,
definitely gonna upload it though. I'm definitely gonna upload it. So
good job. Good
let's
job.
get in. Let's get into this mock draft you just put out, Mike Dub. At the
Okay,
16th pick,
okay. And
round one. Let me know what you're doing.
here's the thing, down yonder nation. Like, I got to give a caveat before we go into the pick because as of today is April 21st, and there's been a lot of smoke going on regarding the Atlanta Falcons. I believe every major publication that you see Ian Rappaport, you see a lot of the insiders that are reporting that the Falcons are going to be ultra aggressive. They're going to get a Jeff Okudah. They're going to get a C.J. Henderson, a Javon Kinlaw, Isaiah Simmons, and all of that's well and good. But unless the trade actually happens, it's really hard to be hypothetical, regarding trades and regarding trading up, especially because we have so many holes on the defense, so many holes offensively, and I think personally, in my own opinion, I would love a Jeff Okudah. I really think C.J. Henderson's momentum has been picking up over probably the last couple of weeks. I really believe at the combine, once he ran that 4.39,
Oh yeah.
that may have solidified him at I would say at worst in the top 13 because if you look at his length, you look at his size, and you look at C.J. Henderson as a corner, the comparison that I've been hearing the most is Darius Slay, and I really think that's a pretty
Ooh.
spot on corner
Yeah. Yeah.
because Darius Slay is a solid guy. I mean, coming out of Mississippi State,
Mhm.
good pedigree, SEC corner, and he was one of the guys that got better. He was one of the guys that he just got better every year, and I think he was very well rewarded for his huge contract. But again, that's hypothetical. We're not drafting hypothetical. We're drafting off the data,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
says that as of April 21st today, bro, we're drafting at number 16. So at number 16, this could be a controversial mock draft, and I know the
It
fans.
can be. I looked at it, and I think it's okay, but it can be controversial a little bit though, Mike.
Yeah, because people are like, well, give it to me. Who we got at number 16? But I think, because this is such a talent-laden draft, I would say at the top of the draft, we really can fill a lot of different needs. And where people think we're going, we may be able to find it a little bit later in the draft. So, with that being stated, first pick I got, the number 16 overall pick. I've got Patrick Queen, linebacker, LSU. And if you are draft nuts like we are, you
Yeah.
know Patrick Queen. He's from LSU. Really fits the mold of a Deion Jones type linebacker. Measurables include, I think he's 6 feet, 225, sideline to sideline linebacker. He's played against top competition week in, week out. Being on that LSU defense, he's well coached. He's a Coach Orgeron guy. He's kind of he was the heart and soul of a really good defense that won a national championship as well. And the one reason why I stuck out with a Patrick Queen, because there are others on the board. There's Kenneth Murray, there's other linebackers. I mean, to be honest with you, if we stay at 16, CJ Henderson won't be there, to be honest with you. So I still think and we'll touch on Gronkowski later because I want to talk about Gronkowski.
Yeah, we're gonna get on Gronk. We're gonna get on Gronk.
Bad right now, but I do think Gronkowski coming into the fold for the Buccaneers at the last second, it may tweak. It won't drastically change the Falcons' draft strategy, but you would be a fool if you don't draft based upon some of the personnel in your division right now. So we look at the NFC South right now. You add a Gronkowski into the mix. Easily we could add another edge rusher for Atanta Falcon and Tech, but I think right now it's a bit of a luxury right now. So you get a Patrick Queen, you pair him next to his LSU buddy, and I think that gives us a 1-2 punch. And Patrick Queen is one of those linebackers that is fast enough to be able to guard tight ends. He's fast enough to be able to send on a blitz. He's fast enough to be able to drop into coverage. And I think what's better than one Deion Jones is a second Deion Jones.
Yes, sir.
And all jokes aside, I know we are really hard on LSU players because for every Deion Jones we got a Duke Riley. And people get a bit apprehensive because it's 50-50. We've literally struck gold with a Deion Jones, but we've literally fell flat on our face with the Duke Riley. So I would say from the perspective of where from a personnel matchup perspective, linebacker today is where I'm probably the most nervous on our defense, just because when Deion Jones got hurt, our season tanked. We lost a leader. We lost teams really felt like they saw that as an opportunity to run up the middle on us. And I mean, our defense being at the bottom of the league, I think proves that. So I think a Patrick Queen gives us a 1-2 linebacker punch that we can build around. Now, with that being said, that's the number 16 pick. And we're going to move it along to the second round. Again, tell me your thoughts in the comments. If you don't agree with me, it's completely fine.
Leave the comments, please.
Please leave a comment, leave a like, leave an unlike. Hey, be truthful and what we're saying, because you got to understand, we look at our team from the perspective of what we've seen on the field, the needs we feel like our team needs going forward. And again, sometimes it is best player available, but sometimes, really it's just plugging in holes. And again, in a team, in a division like the NFC South, where you got a Tom Brady with his buddy Gronk, you got a Drew Brees with his buddy Mike Thomas, you got a Teddy Bridgewater with his new buddy Christian McCaffrey, who signed for the next 5 or 6 years.
Whew.
Now is the time that we get serious about whether this is our year or if we rebuild it next year. Because the reason why we have to nail this draft is it's win this year or everything is shot to crap. Because you look at that beautiful stadium that we got here in Atlanta. Now, just looking outside of our current situation in the world right now with COVID-19 and everything like that, you look at that stadium and it'll be just as empty as it could potentially be this year, next year, if we don't strike gold in this draft. So with that being stated, the next controversial pick that I will put to the forefront is Cesar Ruiz. He's a guard center combo.
I like those combos. I like the guard center combo.
Right. And I think if you look at, and I'll give you a stat on why I went Cesar Ruiz, because it was tempting to say, oh, AJ Terrell, he's dangling around in the second round. Let me go with AJ Terrell. Let's bring him into the fold. He's from Atlanta. Most of those people who don't know, he actually went to Westlake High School. So he's a Westlake Clemson. It would be a great fit personally, because I think he's a Georgia guy. Now, with that being stated, he's not. I still think we do have a pressing need at corner. I think Tom Brady would look and say, it's 2 rounds. They hadn't drafted a corner yet. I'm kind of licking my chops, but we'll get to that in the 3rd round. But Cesar Ruiz, 3-year starter at Michigan. Again, I am fond of Big Ten linemen in the right scheme and in the right system, because I think that they're well coached. And I think that if they have the necessary functional strength in the NFL, usually they translate to guys that you can build around. And I think, a Cesar Ruiz, again, he's like the Lloyd Cushenberry pick a couple of weeks ago, where with Cesar Ruiz, He's a guy that can start at left guard this year, plug and play guy. Alex Mack leaves, he slides over to the center spot.
Yes.
We don't skip a beat. And I think it's important for us to nail a legitimate offensive guard this year, or again, us having Todd Gurley, us having all of these well-known players, it won't matter, But that's my second round pick. That's Cesar Ruiz. Now, third round, people are like, okay, Mike, you've gotten Patrick Queen, you've got Cesar Ruiz. When are we gonna make a move at cornerback? And who's sitting there for you at the third round? Now, my favorite cornerback in the draft, I hadn't talked about him a whole lot, but I feel like he deserves his just due because he reminds me actually a lot of Christian Fulton, not the way people think of Christian Fulton. I'll give you a good example. All of last year, when you watched LSU, from a cornerback perspective, the cornerback name that I heard the most that kept coming up was Derek Stingley.
Yeah.
From LSU.
He did a hell of a job this year.
Hell of a job, supernatural freshman, elite characteristics, locked down from day one. But all of the attention was so focused on Stingley, and rightfully so, that we didn't realize really to the end of the season just how lockdown Christian Fulton was. Because Christian Fulton was just every week doing his thing, just batting balls down, just knocking everything down. But again, we're in the third round, so Christian Fulton is going to be gone. So they're like, all right, Mike, what are you talking about right now? What kind of analogy are you trying to make? My analogy is more that my third round pick is Damon Arnett, cornerback, Ohio State. Let's talk about
Who is not bad. I like him.
I'll be honest with you. He fits in that same category as when you look at the tape and you look at teams knew. Okay, I said another way. Teams knew every week when you watched Ohio State play. Teams knew that Jeff Okudah was that guy. We got to stay away from him. And when you look at Jeff Okudah's highlight tape, I'm like, you get excited because to me, and again, I hate to compare every player, but you gotta understand.
You gotta get some kind of understanding.
And to me, Jeff Okudah on tape looks like Patrick Peterson. I'll tell you why, because he's really like a safety. He's really like a safety playing cornerback.
Yeah, he do tackle, man.
Yeah, and I think what I like about him is that, what I like about Okudah, just to be honest with you, just to talk on him for a second, is that Okudah is basically, on Ohio State's defense, he was two things. He was their best athlete and their best, I would say, overall football player as well. So right. when you got your cornerback and you got a corner that is not only a great athlete, but understands the game and he's not raw, I think, if the Falcons leverage the draft and get him, great. We're straight at cornerback. But again, we have all of these needs. We don't have a guard. We don't have, we'll touch on some of the other needs as well. But I think I go Damon Arnett because I turn on the tape here. I look at games like Michigan. I look at his game against Northwestern. I look at a lot of games where he played against, a lot of good receivers in the Big Ten. And I give you one example as well. Rashad Bateman. I believe he was able to. He was on Bateman a lot when they played against Minnesota, and I think watching him against really just the top tier teams and how many balls that were thrown his way and how he defends every pass. Usually, don't get me wrong, sometimes the receiver does make the catch, but he's always there. He's always in the area. And I think, again, Ohio State cornerbacks, again, every year they're well coached and they are prepared for the NFL. One thing I can say about an Ohio State cornerback, he is not coached to be an Ohio State cornerback. He's coached to be the type of cornerback. Right, the type of cornerback he's going to be in the NFL. So, right. I think that showed with Kendall Sheffield because, lo and behold, Jimmy, we talked about Kendall Sheffield a couple of weeks ago, and I looked at an article, and Dan Quinn, out of his mouth, said, Kendall Sheffield, our top cornerback. So he's almost kind of written off Isaiah Alden. So if you really think about it, he really gave us a clue to what the season would look like. What he said was,
I like it.
And we love it because you know what? That just shows that when we look at our analysis of players, we spotted that gem, we spotted his technique, we spotted his consistency, and we knew when we drafted him a year ago that we had gotten a steal because he had slipped down to the fourth round. So again, I think we strike gold 2 years in a row and we get a Kendall Sheffield type player with a little bit more skill, a little bit more college, a little bit more games played under his belt, and he was recruited by Ohio State and he's been consistent. every game, every season, and he's played against a lot of good competition. And again, he's not a 4-year starter, but he's been playing since his freshman year. And again, that's a hell of a cornerback room to be able to get on the field, man. I mean, you see the field, even if you play special teams, you know that you are worth that spot on the field. They don't give away travel spots at Ohio State. So I just had to touch on. Right. I had to touch on Arnett a little bit because, again, I think that I just feel like if he's there in the third round, I'm okay at cornerback. I think that's solid. That didn't give us we got Okuda, we got Henderson, we got the big name guy. We got a solid guy that I feel comfortable about. Now, I'll kind of press through the remaining picks real quick because we start getting a little bit down in the draft. I'll kind of talk about these guys and a little bit about their measurables, and I just think those first 3 or 4 picks, you got to talk about them at length because that's really where our meat and potatoes.
That's the meat and potatoes there, baby.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So a couple things. So we got 2 picks in the 4th round. So with the second pick in the 4th round, I went Leki Fotu, defensive tackle, Utah. I believe in a mock I did a couple of weeks ago, I drafted him as well. I do feel like he is a 2-down player. Now, don't get me wrong. People say, well, we need a defensive tackle with pass rush ability, and I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're a defensive tackle with pass rush ability, you're already off the board at this point. I think one of the best things you can do at this point in the draft, when you start getting towards the end of the 4th round, is find those run stuffers to, again, allow us to set the tone on the line of scrimmage, because this is a season where, yes, we know we're going against a lot of quarterbacks that A, have a lot of success in the league, B, can throw the ball on a dime, and C, quarterbacks that already, when they lead their team, they already know what they're about to do. They're not really focusing on, well, the Falcons made this move. They're not even really thinking about it. So the best thing we can do is, we know what we're dealing with. We've discussed the Panthers. We know what we got with Bridgewater. We watch his body at work. Drew Brees, Tom Brady. We don't even have to go in their bodies at work. But again, you need a photo because remember what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. We said Tom Brady, he's going to make his living sitting right in between the 2 guards in the center.
No question.
Throwing that ball. We have got to get some inside pressure this year, or again, it won't matter what we do offensively. It won't matter the fact that we have Todd Gurley. Offense just will not matter. Now, with that being said, 6'3", 350-pound space eater, you need a good 350-pound guy that can move, Samoan guy, highly athletic. I think you may actually get more pass rush ability with a guy like this just out of the fact that he's so strong. He commands the double team. And again, anybody that commands a double team that frees it up for Brady, we'll take them. You can't have enough of these guys. Now, and actually, I take a step back. I said he was the 2nd pick of the 4th round. He was actually the 1st pick of the 4th round. But the 2nd pick of the 4th round is an edge rusher. Because, again, we can't have too many edge rushers. Because, we were on the Caleb Von Chasen train for all of these months. And we thought that,
For a while there, man.
He's going to be our guy. We're going to lock in. But, like I said, I just truly believe as of April 21st, Caleb Von Chasen is a bit of a luxury right now. If we get him, it's great. I think we'll do great things with him. But again, he's a bit of a luxury. Now, my player at the edge rusher position is a player that majority of our Falcons fans don't have a clue about. But he is a player that I literally had to take the time to study his film and learn a little bit about his body of work. And that's Jason Stowbridge, edge rusher, University of North Carolina. He's 6'5", 285. He ran a 4.8 in the 40. Like I said, if you look at his tape, I really think that the best thing that happened to him this season is that Mac Brown, for whatever reason, I believe when Mac Brown became the coach, he was able to work with this guy and help him take his game to the next level. So I think
hell of a coach too, Mac Brown. Hell of a coach.
And he's coached some great ones. From his overall body of work. And sometimes it does take a new coach for certain players to just kind of just jump through the screen. I think there are a couple games. Clemson, he's another player, to be honest with you. I think that he will be a functional edge rusher. I don't think you would expect, to be honest with you, I don't think you'd expect more than 4 or 5 sacks from a guy like this. But I think he is a guy that gives you versatility to do both. He's good against the pass, good against the run. And I think he's a good rotational player that if rotated in with a Takk McKinley, rotated in with a Dante Fowler.
Rotational player.
Great rotational player, but again, he could help us in the spot start if we needed to, and we don't lose anything from that perspective. So now my last pick is a pick that I think will make a lot of Georgia Bulldog fans slash
no
Falcons
question about that.
happy from the perspective of when I did my mock draft, there were other running backs on the board, but I think from a fit perspective, if I'm Dimitrov, I'm getting this guy, and I'm running up virtually to the podium to draft this guy, and that's Brian Harrion, running back from UGA. Now, I had yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Sir. So I love that pick, Mike. Go ahead, brother. I love it. Go ahead, though. I love it.
So I'll tell you why I go Brian Harrion, because I had the luxury and the pleasure of watching Brian Harrion play in his first college game against North Carolina a couple years back in the Georgia Dome. And we were just thinking okay, because I'm a Georgia football geek and I know all of the recruiting and all that, I was like, wait a minute, this was the running back that we got in July. He barely qualified. And yet here he is in the second quarter of his first freshman game, his first carry. He ran it for 15 yards. Now I'm not, of course, his career wasn't, multiple touchdowns, 10, 15 touchdown seasons, because let's be honest with you. He played, that's a running back who is not getting the pub he deserves. And I'll tell you why, because, RBU, everybody that knows UGA, it was the Swift show, it was the Sonny Michel show, it was Nick Chubb show. But guess what? When Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb and all those other guys were there, he was there as well. So one, he's learned how to be a professional from
exactly.
You know what I mean? From two NFL running backs that have gone on to be successful, and he shared carries with DeAndre Swift, and lesser known fact, if you really watched Georgia games last year, he actually started a few games over DeAndre Swift because of the situation called for it. Now, people are like, ultimately, you might ask me, Jim Bro, and we could talk about this after I give you this point, but you might say, Brian Harrion, how does he fit in the Atlanta Falcons offense? How do you use a guy like that? And I think what happens is you use a Brian Harrion as a pass receiving back, because
oh yeah, no question.
I think he can catch the ball, but it's it's almost like having a fullback, a fullback, a tailback, you know what I mean, and a receiver in one player, because he runs with such reckless abandon. And I think I think a guy like that, learning from really his big homie Todd Gurley, I just think that would be a masterful pick. And I think that's a running back that, everybody was like, we need a running back early, but we got good running backs. Again, we got Ito Smith, we've got Brian Hill. Brian Hill just signed his tender, so that lets me know that signing a running back early, bro, is really off of the table. You know what I mean? I really think that we're gonna have to probably bank on a running back a little bit later. But again, like I said, just a quick recap: Patrick Queen, Cesar Ruiz, Damon Arnett, Lakey Fotu, Jason Strobridge, and Brian Harrion. So yeah, that's my final mock draft. And if we get that, I feel like that allows us to be a little bit more complete in positions of need. It may disappoint a lot of Falcons fans because it's not the big name guy. It's not the guy with all the pub. But again, the NFL is a league of team fit and how you continue to grow. Because what you did in college does not matter in the NFL. So again, that's my mock.
And I like that mock. It's filling the need. It's a feasible mock. If you want to say we're going to stay put, it's very feasible for Thomas. I almost call him Dimitrov. Sometimes I call him that. But it's a very feasible mock draft, Mike. I like it. It fits the need. It's got quality players in there. And some people saying trade back, get more quantity, than quality, which is not bad either. And like I said in the last video for my mock draft, I feel whatever we do in the draft is icing on the cake compared to this free agency we done had already. Look, I'm pleased with this free agency we just had. You got to understand that. It been a magnificent free agency, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't been one of them laid back ones we usually have. We got two top marquee players in free agency this year. I want to say three. I mean, Hayden Hurst is going to do some things. I do believe that.
I
And
believe.
like I said, this mock draft is feasible to me, and icing on the cake compared to what the free agency we just had. Now I want to carry out on Brian Herring. I seen him make a catch last year that was insane. I think it made one of the top 10, top 5 ESPN top plays of the week that week.
Mhm.
He is a receiving back, and if we can get him at 228, that is a steal in my eyes. Not just because I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. No, I think the guy is got good upside. He's a great running back. He's kind of coming out of Georgia in a situation that Josh Jacobs was in last year. Didn't get that much burn sitting behind people, but when he got off in the league, he was pretty. Don't you think he was pretty good? I do. So this mock draft is pretty good. Now we're gonna jump over to some breaking news today for those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want to say the Effineers. I call them something else, but some kids might be watching. Okay, let's talk about these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have made another move, y'all. If y'all ain't seen it, I know y'all probably have. And you know, us Falcon boys over here down on the sports, we keeping up with it. And I just want to let the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans that might watch this leave some comments. Because I'm gonna tell you something, we ain't scared, okay? Y'all done did some things. Y'all done went off and got somebody that been sitting out for a year, but hey, we ain't scared. All right. So bring whatever you gonna bring, load up whatever you gonna load up. Cause I hope you got enough. Cause we got 6 in the chamber, okay? And we aiming at the head. All right. So Mike, let's get your thoughts on this. Gronkowski coming out of retirement, so-called, not retirement, whatever. The Buccaneers, the Patriots traded him to the Buccaneers. Let me get your thoughts on that, because I kind of almost thought I seen this coming, but once I seen Gronkowski on WWF Monday Night Raw, whatever it was, looking like a tall jungle book man, Tarzan, call himself wrestling. He came. I didn't think he was gonna do it once I seen him doing that, but he came out of retirement to join the Buccaneers, to join Tom Brady's buddy. What's your feelings on that, man? And I know you saying that this pickup may alternate our draft situation, but how do you feel about Tampa Bay's picking up Gronkowski, man, today, man? What you think about that?
You know what? I'm gonna give, as much as I want to be a cynic to the Bucs, their fans, everything that they have going on, because a real Bucs fan, I ain't talking about these Patriot Bucs fans. I'm talking about a Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know what? Shout out Luane Barlow, Andrew Harris, a lot of guys from my hometown.
Barlow.
Guys that in middle school we live in Georgia, but they were like Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Oh, yeah. So this is for y'all, because I'll be honest with you, and I'll be as objective as I possibly can, because I have strong feelings about this, the Gronkowski pickup, because. Okay, let me just get into my analysis on it, because I'm gonna make an analogy that I will expound on, and it's not a short answer. So before I go into my answer, I just want to get that background. So I feel like on paper, we're gonna talk about the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah.
On paper, they look like the Golden State Warriors on paper, and I mean the KD, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, just Clay, just the whole offense. Yeah, just loaded, bro. And guess what? They're gonna shoot you out the gym, to be honest with you. Now, again, driving to the hole, yeah, you might get some points, but again, if they make more threes than you make twos, they're gonna blow you out just about every game. So, to say that the Tampa Bay offense right now is similar to Golden State, just because you look at all that. I mean, come on, you got Godwin, you got Gronkowski. You've got Tom Brady, you got Mike Evans, you've got okay, and let's talk about that one, because here's the thing. We talked the other week, Jimmy, when we said that boy OJ Howard, he might be the only question mark on the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah, we did say that. You did mention that.
He ain't as proven as we think. He didn't have a lot of touchdowns, don't have a lot of yards, and
we did say that.
I believe a lot of games last year, I believe he got benched actually a couple of games just due to lack of effort. So
yeah,
his ability to want it was in question. Now I would say at worst, having a Gronkowski apologies. I don't drop my phone.
You're good.
having a Gronkowski is, I think, having a Gronkowski changes your approach, bro. Because, for me, what it does is it says that, okay, I got a guy that is a Super Bowl champion that's in front of me, and he's here to win, and his guy caught ahead. First of all, I'm probably feeling a little bit slighted right now because you go in and you get a Super Bowl champ. I'm like, hey, I thought, you needed the young slide. You get a guy to retirement.
Out of retirement, yeah.
That might say more about you as a person. Like, bro, I need you. Like, I got this tight end right now. I'm not sure he's gonna be my guy. And you know what? I wouldn't say that's an unfair. I wouldn't say that's an unfair comparison. But again, they are like the Golden State Warriors. But you know what? I can't speak on them being Golden State Warriors without speaking about what we have to do as the Falcons to beat them. Because I do think to beat them, we would have to take a Toronto Raptors approach to actually beat them. And I think Matt Ryan, and again, I don't make, people say if I compare him to this person, they might think that I'm down on him, but I mean from what type of person he needs to be to help us win. I would say Matt Ryan has to be our Van Vliet, to be honest with you, because Kawhi, Julio is our Kawhi. There ain't no question about that.
No question about that. Right on.
We got a Kawhi Leonard-ish guy, right? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that we lean ultra on Julio because Julio, he's getting older. We can't just lean on Julio. We can't just throw the ball to Julio 20 times and expect to beat the Buccaneers. But I think, Gurley is going to have to be our Siakam. You know what I'm saying? For lack of a better word. Gurley's going to have to be that guy that just make them, he made them tough runs. He changed the game. He can change the field with one run. We're going to need a little bit more of that. It's going to be a little bit more pressure on Gurley. So the knee being right, it's a little bit more pressure on the knee being right, Jimbo, than it was before, to be honest.
No question about it. I totally agree.
And I think on that same vein, for Calvin, for us to be effective at the receiver position, again, Calvin Ridley would have to be our Kyle Lowry. He has to be that catalyst. He's going to have to put together more games. He's going to have to be harder in the weight room and not be as injury prone, which again, it's the NFL. Saying somebody is injury prone is like, it's really one of the stupidest comparisons, I think, because it's a violent car crash game, But I do think you're going to have a formula that works to beat the Buccaneers, because any given week, I could see them putting 50 points on people and not blinking. You know what I mean? With the same team, for the most part, that we've seen over the last couple of years, with better quarterback play, better tight end play, receivers who know where to, who know where to go. And again, you have a championship pedigree. And I think Mike Evans is a type of person that I feel like if you're not what he thinks you should be, he gonna tell you. Like, meaning if you're a quarterback and you're not a leader, and this is his team, basically. This is probably the only situation where a quarterback can come into Tampa. And they won a lot of games with Fitz Magic. Let's be real, bro. You know what I'm saying? The same team. I would say Tom Brady is the only quarterback that can come into Tampa and say Mike Evans, we're gonna do it this way, and he on board. So I got a lot of strong feelings about Gronk being in the NFC South. Now again, he's taking a year off. I mean, there's all these unknowns.
He has
without the team gelling together, whatever. It is definitely the most interesting division in NFL football, and I don't even think it's close that any other division is even close. I think there'll be more primetime games this year out of this division than anybody has ever seen before out of the NFC South. Now, I just don't see us anytime soon duplicating what this could be. So I think this is the time right now to be excited about what we have. But again, we don't care about how exciting it is. We just want the Falcons to win. Even if it ain't exciting, the Falcons go 16-0. It can be the most least exciting season, bro. We go 16-0 and we get that dub, then we done accomplished what we need to accomplish. But yeah.
I totally agree with that. And I'm gonna tell you something, Mike Evans. You all right with me, baby. But I got somebody on my team that Deuce, the enforcer, Keanu Neal, bucket your knees and busted your chest open one game, and it was hard for you to breathe. It was hard for you to get up, baby. Huh? Sometimes you dive in that water, man, and you gotta hold your nose. Boy, it's hard to breathe when you get hit like that. And I mean, Keanu Neal knocked his shoelaces, knocked his shoes off. And I enjoy. And let me tell you something, Mike Evans. I enjoyed every moment of it. And I know the NFC South is very happy the enforcer, is injured. Let me tell you something. The NFC South is happy that Keanu O'Neal, aka the enforcer, aka the head busser, is injured because he put fear throughout the NFC South, and I miss him. And Keanu O'Neal, don't think we don't forgot about you, baby. We ain't forgot about you. You are still on our roster. And I'm hoping to God you come back off of that injury. Now I ain't gonna say you're gonna come back 100% like you were the enforcer that you were Super Bowl year. I ain't gonna say you're gonna come back like that because you're coming off a very serious injury 2 years in a row. But like I say, he really struck fear throughout the NFC South, and my God, I miss him. Okay, because it wasn't no coming across that middle, and it wasn't no letting up on that sideline because Deuce, the enforcer, was coming through and laying down the law and whooping the ass and taking names, and was putting that fear factor in other teams at certain points when they did play the Atlanta Falcons. Now, we're gonna move on to the next subject. It's kind of roll back into the draft since this is draft week and we is getting ready for it. And please, don't hesitate to drop your comments in the comment box below and let us know who y'all think we're gonna get in this mock draft, and also who do y'all think we're gonna actually trade up. Now, I believe honestly that we might. I think we might. Dimitrov have pulled the trigger before, and he's not scared to pull the trigger again, especially when he's know we kind of coming out some bad seasons. When we come out bad season, Dimitrov get very aggressive. Go back and check the history on that. Just check the history on. He get aggressive. He do not play once we go down. When we start losing, he don't play no game. I got to give him that. He hate to lose.
I agree.
Now these rumors going around about this trade up, Mike. I don't heard we trade, and I mentioned this in the last mock draft video. We trying to trade up, we trying to trade back, trade this, trade that. How do you feel about this trade? Do you want to stay where we at, or you want to trade up, or you want to trade back? How you feel about these rumors and this trading up and trading back situation?
Man, I'm conflicted, to be honest with you, because I feel like I thought the whole time that CJ Henderson would be there at 16, but I think it's become evident that people have kind of woken up and said, hey, man, I look at the top 2 corners in the league, and don't get me wrong, Okuda's still 1A. Like, you got to, you know what? If you don't believe Okuda 1A, I'm trying to think of a game. Put on the Nebraska tape and just watch how he just blanketed every receiver that they put his way. Like, I mean, they just throw people out there, man. It was just comical to watch him, just to watch him play, defense, because he's such I love his mentality more than
I do too. I love his mentality.
So, but I think with a CJ Henderson, again, bro, do we need a Darius Slay type cornerback on our defense? Absolutely. It ain't nothing we think about, bro. We'll take him in a second. Like, I'm here, podium.
Yeah.
I give it away, bro. But the biggest thing for me, bro, is that I just think we have so many needs, so many gaps that I really think to an extent that we kind of blowing smoke to an extent. Because what's crazy? For us to really give up a pick, people think that we giving up draft picks. We actually have to give up players to get these picks too. And I think what I've seen lately is I've seen a lot of smoke, bro. And I don't know if you've heard this. There are thoughts that they could potentially trade Calvin Ridley for a higher draft pick. To get up there in like the 3rd or 4th, to get an Okuda, you almost got to dangle a Calvin Ridley. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you a question, Jimbo. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Ridley now. What would our Falcons team look without a Calvin Ridley? Now, and I give you this. Let me give you a little bit of context on that. We got Zacchaeus. We got Olamide Zacchaeus. We got Russell Gage. We got Treadwell there. Another big guy who maybe he didn't get the numbers in Minnesota because it was Diggs and it was Thielen, and maybe he just needed a quarterback who can give him them targets and just really truly be a Sanu-ish type number 2 to Julio Jones. You know what I mean? Or do we leverage a draft pick? Maybe, the Strobridge pick, the 4th round pick, we give up a 4th and a 1st and give up that pick or something like that, or we give up a 2nd round pick. What does that look like to you?
Well, let's just jump back onto this Calvin Ridley situation, number 18. Let me tell you something. Without him, we will look like the team we look like when we didn't have him. Okay, let's just go there. All right. Muhammad Sanu made a big difference. Now, would Treadwell do that? I don't know. He might. He got the ability to do it. He got a lot of upside. He is a fearful a competitor. All right. Losing a Kevin Ridley will push you back a little bit because you drafted Kevin Ridley in the hopes of replacing the Julio Jones once he step away from the Atlanta Falcons and decide to retire, because he will retire a Falcon. Let's get that right. Without a Kevin Ridley, Hayden Hurst, you would have to be more into the passing game. Okay, Jaden Graham, you're gonna have to be more into the passing game without a Kevin Ridley. Now, can we stretch the field without a Kevin Ridley? I don't know. Are you gonna draft somebody to help stretch that field like we did with a Taylor Gabriel? You gotta understand that Kevin Ridley is a possession receiver, but he stretches the field at the same time. Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to Pound for Pound ATL, who put out a video of Kevin Ridley stretching the field and showing how important he is to the Atlanta Falcons, and how the plays that he's pretty much running now is mimicking Julio Jones from early in his career, which I thought was a great film. It was great interpretation on how Kevin Ridley gonna pick up the torch from Julio Jones once Julio Jones decide to hang up the cleats. That's what I think the Falcons would look way different, man, without a Kevin Ridley. And if we do decide to do that, which is a business, if they do it, it is what it is. It's a business. You can't get attached to people like some people do and get heated over certain situations, because, like I said in my last video, this is a business. I mean, look how the Texans just did Bernard Hopkins down there like he wasn't in his prime. It's a business.
Oh, yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, yeah. Dang,
I mean, it's just dropped him like a bad habit. You know what I mean? And like I said, that coach down there, who's also the GM, I think he'll a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. But I'm gonna tell you this: if they do decide to do that, like I said, we will be a Kevin Ridley-less team and look like we looked before we drafted him. And I think if we do let him go, you're gonna have to pick up somebody that can stretch the field. Bring Taylor Gabriel back if you got to, but we need somebody to stretch the field, and he's also a possession wide receiver. I don't think I mean, that rumor is kind of far-fetched, but it's a possibility that it could happen because Dimitrov get aggressive around this time of the year, and everybody know it.
Well, let me ask you this though. In that same vein though, if it ain't Ridley, who else do we have that's tradable? Who is a real trade piece that we have that could allow us to move up, and they say, oh yeah, well, if you give us that guy, you can have, I'm the New York Giants, and I'm like, oh, well, if you want Isaiah Simmons, you want this guy there, because you got Gronk in your division. Right. You saying, because they know too. They're like, oh, you got Gronk in your division. You need Isaiah Simmons. You need a guy that can just shadow him the whole game. You need a guy you can put out. You need a guy you can put at weak side linebacker, but you also need a guy that you can put down on the line. Yeah. So I think you need a guy that can play. You need a guy that can blitz. I mean, anyway,
he can do it all. He can do it all either way it goes.
Because we'll analyze him if we get him, because he's too much. He's just too much. He fits our team so much that I don't even really want to spend the time to talk about him. But again, though, it's like for us to trade up, people think that, like, here's the thing: if we trade up, I think we're making a colossal mistake. I think we're arrogant in the fact that we have better depth than we've had now. Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, man, who else on the defense are we waiting for to grow up? I mean, because KZ, don't get me wrong, KZ makes me feel like whether Keanu Neal comes back 100% or not, I'm okay with KZ. You know what I'm saying? Because KZ is going to give you everything he got. But again, KZ a little guy playing safety, to be honest with you. So I really would have preferred KZ to come back on over the corner. But again, you know what? That experiment to make KZ a safety is what it is. I don't think we'll draft a safety. I think Keanu Neal will come back. I think we got Neesmith. We got Allen. We got a lot of depth at the safety position. But again, bro, we got so many holes at, like I said, cornerback position, the linebacker position. Again, both positions that have cost us big games over the last couple of years. Robert Alford's penalties have cost us games.
Number 23. Goddamn.
Desmond Trufant's lack of technique has cost us games.
Footwork was terrible.
Isaiah Oliver's lack of technique has cost us games. The only cornerback that I really can't just throw to that to the you know what I'm saying to the dogs a little bit is Sheffield, just because again I like we didn't most people didn't expect much out of him anyway, and he gave you more than what was expected. And I think he was a guy that he stuck out to me is that he believed in himself before other people did. He said that he thought he should have been a first rounder, and he was pissed that he was in the fourth round, and that he was out to show everybody
motivation, yeah,
that he had motivation. And you know what? We ain't drafted a lot of guys like that. We drafted a lot of guys that was like, oh, we drafted a lot of guys like I have to use Calvin Ridley as an example. Great pick. He's been tremendous for us, but he was like, man, I can't believe I failed at 28. I'm Calvin Ridley, blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's like he was more pissed off from the standpoint that a player, you know, and same as Sheffield, I guess, to an extent. But I think Sheffield, I think, was a guy that is going to be a guy that, again, we talk about him a lot, we harp on him a lot. I just think he's going to be a guy that, as the years go on, you know, you might go to Mercedes-Benz 2-3 years from now and you'll see some Sheffield jerseys, just because, again, he just strikes me as a guy that he gonna do what he do. He ain't gonna cause no problems. He a speed guy, and we done talked about him a lot in this show, so you know he got a big role in the upcoming season. So.
I mean, Dan Quinn came out and said this, ladies and gentlemen. We not said this. This is Dan Quinn's mouth saying that Sheffield could be our number one CB next year. I'm looking at this true front replacement. He could be that, and I think he got the potential to do that. Now, if we had to let somebody ride out to move up, to trade up, I mean, Takk McKinley will be on my list. A lot of people will be probably asking about a KZ or Rico Allen. Rico Allen, you're 5'11", baby. Gronkowski's 6'7". Gronkowski is a 7'13" tight end.
Yeah.
He's 379 pounds, running at you like a freight train. Okay, the weights and the height. I'm just throwing it out there, Rico. That's how he gonna look when you have to guard him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Isaiah Simmons will combat Gronkowski overnight. Right. All right? So, I'm talking about height wise, speed. Yeah. I mean, weight can't push me around, can't post me up on the blocks and catch. This Isaiah Simmons pick will come back that overnight. It'll be like that pick almost never happened. You know what I mean? And it'll be good to see that twice a year, Isaiah going against Gronkowski. But I love it because I know who's going to come out on the top, and that's that almighty Dirty Bird, okay? And so, but some people are very skeptical about picking people from Clemson because of what number 44 did to us. They don't want to go back down that Clemson road again, Mike. They feel like if they go back down that road again, they're going to get disappointed, kind of about how number 44 did us, aka the lazy man, I like to call him sometimes, number 44, who have moved on to the Tennessee Titans.
All right, good for him.
I feel that trading up, trading back, and I said this in the last show, I said it earlier in this show, trading up, trade back, it don't matter to me. I'm Atlanta Falcons for life. I with this free agency we just had, it's all good, baby, because we have had a productive free agency. We got a corner from the XFL. I don't know if y'all have noticed that, but we got a corner from the XFL. I haven't went back and watched this. I haven't fully got his name yet and went back and watched this film yet, but I'm gonna do that. I feel like we are creating depth through free agency, so when we got to the draft, we didn't have to reach for nobody. We didn't have to trade up and trade back. And teams are gonna be contacting us with that KZ pitch, you know, with that. If they pitch for Takk McKinley, I really hope Rich McKay or Tommy Dimitroff or Dan Quinn kind of pull the trigger on that, depending on what we get. Because you mentioned that Duke Riley situation, and we got something out of that. If we can get something out of that Takk McKinley deal, I'd be all right with that too. You know what I mean?
I think that Takk McKinley one is a tricky one because Takk McKinley, you know, the ability is there, but I think
upside's there.
I think you gotta have. Okay. So now I'll be honest with you. If the Giants were stupid enough to give us Takk McKinley, let us give them Takk McKinley or Isaiah Simmons, well, I take it. And we'll figure out a pick to give them.
Oh yeah, no question about that. That's a no-brainer.
I just think with Takk McKinley, because he's been injury prone, he just had shoulder surgery. Takk McKinley is going to be a tough guy to really just put as a bargaining piece, because them GMs, bro, when they look at
they want a little bonus piece, yeah.
Yeah, they want a bonus piece, but they want like, man, what you mean? What you gonna give me damaged goods for? We talking about Isaiah Simmons. We talking about we gonna make your team better, and y'all gonna give us damaged goods. I think, unfortunately, because of our defense, and you look at, man, you know what makes it. This is why I feel like as we get more and more in the draft, I think the Falcons are just blowing smoke. Or if they do, they're gonna do something similar to the Saints did when they got Ricky Williams. Remember when they leveraged their draft, they got Ricky Williams, and they all went and played golf. And it ended up tanking they franchise for like 5-10 years. I think if we do that for Jeff Okudah, and we tank our draft and we give away most of our picks for Jeff Okudah, who will be a very good corner. I mean, and necessary. I still think, we'll cut off our hand. You know what I mean? We'll cut off our finger to basically say the hand to an extent. But again, that hand gonna be hanging on by a thread, my boy, because it's just I don't see it, man. It's just this is gonna be an interesting couple of days, bro.
And it's hard to recover from stuff like this where you ain't got no draft picks, okay? Mm-hmm. And Matty Ice, Julio Jones, Alex Mack, these people on the backside of their career, okay? And we don't have when they gone, it's definitely time to rebuild. We all know that. Everybody can agree with that. Right. All right, now Mike, I know you see the new jerseys came out. And they was leaked at first. Some silly rabbit out there that got a hope to it and leaked this out. And I have to say the New Jerseys are pretty decent. I like them, and I'm probably gonna get me one. I'm gonna get me one. You feel me? I like the New Jersey. They look good. They clean. They got the ATL on front, because let's not get this twisted now. You represent the city of Atlanta, Georgia. ATL is a brand. It can sell itself. I like that on the front, but that number font throws me off a little bit. I think we should have stuck with the same number, the same number font.
I agree.
But overall, those uniforms is not bad. Now, what you think about the new unis, man? I know we're a little late on this, but I had to mention it a little bit. People been asking me about it. I had to mention it. I like them.
The thing about it is, bro, is that I feel like you made a good point. Like, really, you really, before I even go into the unis, I think it's a great point, because you just look at the layout of it. The thing about it is the layout of the unis. It gives a different swag to the team, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, it's like, okay, it's kind of funny because it's like this is the first time we don't look at Matt Ryan and be like, damn, Matt, like he got a little swag on him, don't he? You know what I mean? Just right, I'm not saying that Matt Ryan is a swag guy. He's not a swaggy guy, but I think when you look at, if you look good, you feel good, you play good, all that. You play
good. That's right.
You look at it from the Dion standpoint. We look good, bro. We look like a team that, bro, we fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because, bro, when we play high school football, we look at each other's eyes and be like, hey, bro, we look good, bro. Like, shit, we need to, hey, you know what I'm saying? We
gotta go do some things.
We gotta go do some things, my boy. Right. And I feel like the mentality, is there. And to be honest with you, I think I love the jerseys because I just love the fact that it represents the city. It's
exactly.
They look diverse. They look eclectic. And I ain't gonna lie, that all white. Let me tell you
that all white. Whew.
That all white, I feel like is like,
oh man,
it just popped though to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like having a TG, you know what I'm saying, having a Julio, having these boys come out even before. I ain't gonna lie. What's crazy is like really pregame is where it's gonna swag the most to me, bro. Because what most people don't realize is, a lot of them boys, man, they practicing them visors that ain't approved by the league.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Still got the multicolored visor and bro, it just look good though, man. But I think, you know what I'm saying? I love the jerseys, but again, I hate to be like the old man on the porch. It still come down to blocking and tackling. And
there's no question about that, man.
It's gonna look worse to me, bro, if we get our ass whooped. You know what I'm saying? In these jerseys, and we look better. We look clean when we get our ass whooped. Like before, we get our ass whooped, but them jerseys we used to. But we got new jerseys, new swag, same results. I think that's gonna get everybody up out of there, and that's gonna have season tickets so cheap in 2021 if we don't do what we got to do. But them jerseys is whoever came up with the jerseys, kudos to you. Great vision.
Good shout out to you, baby.
Hell yeah! Thank you for including the city. You know what I'm saying? Or thinking about the city when you brought your jersey, because again, man, sports is so needed right now, clearly for various reasons. But as a Falcons fan, as a lifelong Falcons fan, as a lifer to this, I appreciate it. And I'm gonna get one for me. I'm gonna get one for my daughter. I'm gonna get one for my son. I'm gonna get one for a wifey. And shit, we're gonna go to the game goddamn lit. But again, Dan Quinn, Dimitrov, y'all got the jersey, we got the sweat, y'all got everything we need now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go. We gonna wait till we get the closing thoughts. I got something special.
Okay, yeah. I feel you burning about Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitrov. I keep trying to call him Thomas Trimmer. I'm sorry about that, y'all. But no, he deserved it. He sometimes he act like a square head, GameCube head, glasses wearing person that he is. But let's jump on into closing thoughts, Big Mike. And I'm gonna let you do closing thoughts first this week, man, because I want to hear, because you already burning on it right now. I see you ready to get it up off your mind. I see that you feel a certain type of way about these people, and it's draft week, baby, and we excited, we lit, we crunk, we ready to get into this draft, and we ready to get into this closing thoughts, man, and we ready to give it to the people. Now go ahead and give them closing thoughts, Big Mike. Tell me how you feel, baby.
And again, bro, I'm gonna scoot up as close as I can.
That's right.
I'm gonna lock in, bro. I'm gonna goddamn look right here. Dan Quinn, I hope you watching this. I really hope you watching this podcast, bro, because to be honest with you, you've had opportunity, you know, and as a city, you got bailed out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now you a coach, that you got bailed out. Your job was on the line. You wasn't the one that was able to lead us to the promised land. You had to get your assistants. Now, kudos to you for saying, yeah, man, I'm screwing up. Raheem, you do defense. Coach Aubrey, you know, matter of fact, you and Raheem, y'all do defense because I'm screwing it up. Cutter, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you a little bit more autonomy. I'm going to step back, really, because everybody like me and because I play music that everybody want to hear, and we lit because the city lit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like me, bro. Dan Quinn, we tired of liking you, bro. We don't like you no more. For the first time, it's the first season I come in. It's like, Dan Quinn, I don't care nothing about no brotherhood. I don't care nothing about no analogies. I don't care nothing about, you know, do more together. I don't care nothing about these catchphrases and slogans. I don't care about rising up. You can get Samuel Jackson. You know what I'm saying? You can get Samuel Johnson. I don't give a damn who you get to goddamn lead our rise up stuff. But you know what? At the end of the day, we don't even need no slogan and shit. It's just play football. You know what I mean? We don't need to rise up. We don't need to lean in more to the Falcons because you know what? You've been doing the same thing we've been doing, sitting at home, thinking about what's good, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about what things are, you know what I'm saying, where things are gonna go. And you gotta think about it. Sean Payton doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Bruce Arians doing the same thing. The new ruler, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cause get what? He came from Baylor and he said, oh yeah, I got Christian McCaffrey. Man, sign that boy, get that boy whatever he want, man. That boy want 5 years, 6 years, you know what I'm saying, 180 million, give him that. You know, they've already done all of that kind of stuff. Now, Dan Quinn, that's it. And I ain't even gonna go to Dimitrov, man, because I think Dan Quinn, you've been the guy that we've talked to every week. Our enthusiasm has been tied into you. And I'm gonna tell you something, as a Falcons fan, you'll cause us nothing but anxiety since you stepped forward this year. Give us a calm season. Give us a season where we ain't gotta be stressed out every game and going into cardiac arrest after every move that after every time we see our defense give up 46 points. Yes. I don't want to see our defense. Matter of fact, Dan Quinn, I'm gonna shut up after I say this. Dan Quinn, I know it's the NFL, and I know you're a defensive guy, but I really would like to see a season where we don't even allow a team to score over 35 points. That's 35 points, bro. We defensive guys. You know, I used to feel like if a team scored more than 14 points, then I'm not doing my job as a defense. Dan Quinn, just please stop the bleeding. Put a pacifier on this sorry, weak zone coverage, cover 2 stuff that you do, and let your coaches coach. Stay out of the way, and I'm gonna stop talking because that's my closing thought. If not, Dan Quinn, shoot me your address, and then we can, you know what I'm saying, we can handle it like man off camera.
Y'all get off camera and y'all get outside and throw them blows. Y'all can talk about it.
I gotta see him, my butt. But anyway,
and I totally understand your closing thoughts there, Mike, and that was pretty good. You got something against old Dan Quinn. I mean, he got to step up and do something, man. He knows it. But let me get into my closing thoughts here, man. And I want to shoot my shot at somebody that's sitting in the background, kicking it a little bit. And I mean, they are kicking it. But when Matt Ryan got hurt a little bit, he jumped in and had nothing to show for it. I think he's old. He's bald-headed. He's crippled. And he's getting paid, and he's going toward our salary cap. And that's old Matt Schaub, okay? Hey, look here, Matt Schaub. I think I'm done, man. I was hoping this year that they was gonna give you your farewell ticket, but they didn't. Oh, no, dumbest Dimitrov decided to bring you back. But look here, I'm done. I really hope they draft us, bring in an undrafted, restricted, undrafted free agent to be our backup quarterback this year. With those rumors coming out of Dimitrov looking at quarterbacks, I don't have a problem with it because I know whoever he pick up is not going to start over Matty Ice. But I do know they're going to be a backup quarterback, and I hope they replace you. I have no faith in old Matt Schaub and old Schaub if Matty Ice goes down right now. I have no faith in him, absolute zero. And I want him off of this roster, and I want him off this roster bad. Now they say, hey, Jimmy, he's good quality. He's this, he's that. He's not going to step in and play at no high level and get us into a situation to win ball games if Matty Ice goes down. We seen it last year. We know it. It's not going to get no better because he's only getting older. And he's getting paid money that we could give somebody out of the draft this year. So if Dan Quinn and Tommy Dimitrov and Rich McKay is looking for a backup, I'm all for it. I'm 100% in. I'm all the way in. And I hope you draft somebody, and during the draft or during the season or whatever, you let Matt Schaub go and let this guy, this young rookie, whoever he may be, is probably going to be better than Matt Schaub, be our backup quarterback. Because Matt Schaub in this organization, I'm done. I just want to let everybody know out there, Dirty Bird Nation, Atanta Falcons, y'all down yonders out there, I'm sick of Matt Schaub. I'm done with Matt Schaub. All right? He's not going to do anything for us. Dimitrov, stop bringing him back, stop renewing his contract, and let him walk. That $2.3 million could have went to somebody else or could go to somebody in this draft. So, Matt Schaub, I do want to say, adios. And don't let the door hit you with good Lord split you. All right? And that's my closing thoughts. And Matt Schaub, don't take this personal, baby. It's business. Okay? All right. Well, this is almost about the end of the show. This is Don on the Sports, man. We had a lot to talk about today. We had a lot of catching up to do. Yes. Y'all better get ready for the draft. Big Mike, you ready for the draft? Because I know I am, baby.
Bro, we've been waiting for this for months. We've been talking about it for months. To be honest with you, we were talking about the draft during the season last year because when we knew we were tanking and we were losing and, they started winning and we really should have a better draft pick than we should now. This is kind of the time that this is what we talk about. We've been building up this really the last 3 to 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Look, listen, during a pandemic, this is how we want to talk about. We want to talk about sports because I know they say sports may not be back, blah, 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 but we think sports are going to be back. Not only are they going to be back, they're going to be back with a vengeance. And we need it.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right now.
Yes, sir.
Because I know down yonder nation, I know y'all been watching Netflix and y'all tired of Netflix. Y'all been watching YouTube and you done watched every video on YouTube. So now it's back to get back to some entertainment other than the MJ documentary, which again
I haven't watched it. I need to jump on that and see what's going on with
again, MJ. We could start a whole nother left field discussion on that. This is a football podcast right now, but and again, man, you know what? Matter of fact, while we talking about it, again, man, it's a good time for me to say. During this pandemic, you know what I'm saying? All y'all frontline workers, essential workers.
Yes, sure.
Fighting through the machine, man, doing what y'all doing, saving lives. Even listen, bro. And I ain't even talking to the, I ain't talking to the CEO. I ain't talking to the CFO. I'm talking to the guy that's out there bagging groceries. I'm talking to the guy over there polishing the store. I'm talking to the guy over there cooking food, putting his family at risk to try to make a buck for his family and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, and if you're watching this, and guess what? If it hits you and you essential, just know we rock with the essentials. And leave a like, subscribe. We're gonna bring out more content. We're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it rolling. And Jimbo, I think like I said, man, we love what we do, man. So we ain't going nowhere, bro. We here to stay.
Oh, no question. We love what we do. We ain't here for no money. We here to talk football, talk sports with the people because we love to do this. This is something we love to do, all right? Ain't nobody making us do it. We don't need no money. We love to do this. We here to give it to you. And like Mike said, man, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button so y'all can get that and hit that notification bell so y'all can get some of these good old Falcons down yonder sports talking. I mean, this is a Southern guy. We from South Georgia. We talk. We from the state, okay? The team didn't choose us. We chose the team, all right? Look here, man. This is Don Yonder Sports, man. Hey, Mike, say hello to the wife. Say hello to the kids. Stay safe over there, man. Take it easy. Hey, happy birthday on now, so I can tell you happy birthday in front of the fans out there, man, that's watching us. Happy birthday, man. I hope it was a good one. I know you were locked in, so I don't know how much you could do, but that's another story. But hey man, this is Don Young, the sports man, and we about to close the shot out. Mike, you got anything else you want to put out there before we shut it down, baby?
Yeah, man. Like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mama, auntie, uncle. Shoot, man. Like I said, we like Jimbo nailed it, man. We don't do this for the money. We do this for the love of it. So
Right.
when you do it out of love, shoot, man, we'll put mass quantities of this stuff out, man. So, but again, we need to hear from y'all what y'all think. We open the feedback. You know what I'm saying? Now we ain't
Oh
gonna
yeah,
make
no
no.
question.
This ain't a show of magic. So if you ask for something magically to happen, it ain't gonna happen. But you know, when it comes to like logic and us doing what we do, man, like I said, we open the feedback and shoot, man, keep it going, man. Keep the views rolling, because again, you know, we see that y'all locking in, man. Keep locking in and shoot, keep tuning in down yonder sports.
That's right. Hey man, this is Don Young, the sports. I think we might try to get back to you after the draft, the day after the draft. After the
Yes.
3 days, we might try to drop a show in there and get it to us, get it to y'all, let y'all see what we think about them picks. But man, this is an exciting time right now. It's
Yes,
draft week, baby, and let's fucking go. Hey,
yes,
Don
sir.
Young, the sports. Rise up. We'll see y'all next week, man. Adios.
Adios, rise up, Falcon Nation. Yes, sir.